Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Layla, and for this video, we're going to talk about the differences between a traditional or pre-tax 401k versus a Roth 401k and which one I decided to contribute to. I'm very excited for this video. I feel like there's quite a bit of information I could go into, but I want to start with some disclaimers and just general information. So first of all, I am not a financial expert. I really just enjoy finances. As you all know, this is not investing advice, but I am going to share what I am doing, why I'm doing that, and you absolutely do not have to follow what I'm doing. So this is not investing advice whatsoever. The other thing is that I'm definitely not an expert when it comes to 401ks. This is just the information that I have researched and found. There is so much information and you could really go down a rabbit hole when it comes to 401ks. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. We're just going to keep it pretty surface level because it's not necessary to go much deeper than that unless you really want to or feel the need to, and I definitely don't. Any of the resources that I used for information that I got, I will link down below. So this came from a variety of articles that I read and also from Reddit. So I will try my best to link all the ones that I think were actually even helpful, and plus where I got the actual information from. And then finally, I just want to add that I am not looking for advice either. I have made my decision for now and I don't need advice for what I should do because I'm doing what works best for me. So just want to throw that out there. That personal finance is personal, so what I want to do is what I am going to do. I have done my research and now we can get into that research. There will be chapters, so everything, if you want to pick and choose where you watch, feel free to do that. And if you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments. All right, I got my notebook now, and I'm gonna be looking down quite a bit because I'm gonna be reading off of notes because I don't memorize this stuff, to be honest, all right? I wanna make sure I don't say anything wrong, and we're gonna first talk about the difference between a traditional or pre-tax 401k and a Roth 401k. If you contribute to a pre-tax or traditional 401k, this reduces your taxable income for the year. So for example, let's say my income is $50,000 and I decide to contribute $10,000 to my 401k. Well, really, I only pay taxes on $40,000, plus you adjust for taxes, but for simple purposes, let's just say instead of paying taxes for $50,000, you will be paying taxes for $40,000. So it's a tax savings up front. But then when the money is taken out, when you retire, it is taxed as regular income for whatever your income is at that age. So if you are in the 22% tax bracket when you retire and you start accessing this money, you will pay taxes at that tax bracket when you pull the money out. Now for the Roth 401k, this is very similar to any other Roth account. So you contribute with your after-tax money. So if you make $50,000, even if you contribute to your Roth 401k, you will still pay taxes on $50,000. So there's no tax savings for you in the moment. However, when you pull the money out at retirement or whenever you access this money, it will be tax-free. So no matter what tax bracket you're in, when you're 65 years old or 75 years old, you will not pay taxes on the money that you pull out from your Roth 401k. The max that you can contribute to either your traditional 401k or your Roth 401k for 2022 is $20,500, and you can contribute to both, but the max amount can be $20,500 between the two or just in one. Some people are in a situation where it's really easy to decide which one you want to contribute to, which one would be more effective for you to contribute to. So if right now you make quite a bit of money and you're in a high tax bracket, it's probably better for you to contribute to a traditional or pre-tax 401k so that you can lower your tax burden right now. And then in the future, you probably will have a lower income and you'll just pay the taxes at that rate. And then on the other side of that, if you're expecting your income to be a lot higher in the future at retirement, it's probably better for you to do the Roth 401k. You won't be paying taxes on your 401k, the money that you pull out of your 401k. even if your income is higher. Another example for somebody who's probably a better fit for the Roth 401k is somebody who expects to be living in a state with high state taxes in the future when they're retiring. So that'd be like California or any state that has really high taxes, because also with that, if you have your Roth IRA, you don't have to pay the taxes on it. But if you're like me, where you're fairly young and you honestly you have no clue what's going to be happening in 40 years from now, because honestly, I don't even know what's going to be happening in like 2 to 3 to 5 years in my life. So I found this pretty difficult, and I kept going back and forth on which one to contribute to. And then I did some research and I made a decision. Okay, so with my new job, obviously I am given the opportunity to contribute to my 401k, and this can be pre-tax or the Roth 401k. And my company matches 6%, which is really good for me. And that's 100% of 6% vested immediately. So I was like, absolutely yes, we are going to do 6%. And just to clarify, something I want to point out is that no matter what, whether you contribute to your Roth 401k or a traditional 401k, your employer match always goes to a traditional 401k. So honestly, you could just do all of it in your Roth 401k, and then your match would go into your traditional. So you would be knocking off both at the same time. But just know that just because your employer is contributing, it doesn't mean that their contributions will lower your tax burden. So if you contribute to your Roth 401k, you're still going to be paying taxes on that amount, even though your employer match is going to your traditional. Hopefully that makes sense. But no matter what, it's always going to traditional. Now, initially, when I signed up and started setting everything up, I decided to go 100% with the Roth 401k. So 6% in the Roth 401k. And here's why. So I looked this up, and one of the first articles that I saw, I'm pretty sure if you Google it as well, it'll be the top article. It was from Dave Ramsey's website. And I don't know why I went to that and or automatically listened to that. So in that article, it had said that the tax rate in the future could be higher, which is absolutely true. We don't know what things are going to look like 20, 30, 40 years from now. So if I were to do my Roth 401k right now, that would save me no matter what in the future. So that was listed on there. The other thing, which I don't know, it was probably mentioned on that article, but this was just what I was thinking, is that I have no idea what my income is going to be in the future. So what if I am making more money in the future and I'm going to end up paying more taxes? Like, I have no clue. I just completely switched careers. Like, what if I switch careers again? Or what if I'm owning a business? Like, I have no clue. I have no clue what's going to happen. So I was like, let me just do Roth 401k, play it safe. In the future, I will thank myself. So that's what I was thinking initially. And then I started thinking about it. I started doing more research, and I was like, I can't make a decision. So I went to like 50-50. 3% traditional, 3% Roth 401k. And then I continued to do research and finally made the concrete decision, for now anyway, that I'm going to do 6% all in my traditional 401k. Here's why. Okay, so again, I was doing a lot of research, and I read so many subreddits, the comments on there. I read lots of articles. Those will be linked down below. It was just really convincing to go with the traditional, and a lot of people were saying that traditional is typically better for most people, especially if you want to retire early, which is something that I would like to do. I don't know if that's something I absolutely can do because of like just my issues and stuff, but that's something that's always been, in my financial plan, is to reach FIRE. And the big part of that I kept seeing is that you can roll over your traditional 401k into a traditional IRA into a Roth IRA, which allows you to pull things out tax-free and then also access this money earlier. Honestly, I'm not going to get into that because I can't tell you everything for sure 100%, but that's just something that I ran across, and it's I've heard other early retirees doing that, so I was like, okay, maybe traditional's better. Another thing is that I really just want to pay less taxes right now, and I know that I could pay less taxes in the future, potentially significantly less depending on the tax rate then, but for so long I've gone paying taxes on my income, paying a lot of taxes, because like when I was at my previous job, as y'all know, I was paying taxes even on my health insurance, which is a lot of money. And right now I'm not contributing that much to even save much in taxes, but the less I can pay, the better, you know? And with those tax savings, so this is the next point, with those tax savings, I can invest elsewhere. So I do still plan on maxing out my Roth IRA for 2022. So I can use that tax savings to continue to help with putting money toward my Roth IRA and or my debt and or other investments if I were to get to that point. You know, if I were to hit the company match 6% plus max out my Roth IRA, after that I would probably put more to my 401k. So that kind of frees up more cash for me to put money toward that once I get to that point. And then I kind of touched on this a bit, but right now I'm only going to be putting in $300 per month plus, you know, then my employer matches that. So that's not that much money in the year, and I can always change this in the future. So right now I am doing my traditional 401k, and that's just going to be like $3,000, almost $4,000 this year, because I don't make that much money yet. And while I was doing all this research, it made me realize like it's really not worth me stressing about this, like which decision I'm gonna make, when this year it's only gonna be like $4,000, because I still have my student loan debt. That is my priority. So yes, I am contributing to my Roth IRA and my 401k and stuff, but my debt is still my priority. And yeah, I would love to max out my 401k, but that's probably gonna be something that I'll do next year and going into the future once I'm completely debt free. And for now, like, that's fine. Plus the other thing is I have my Roth IRA. So there's a good balance there. Like I'm pretty diversified when it comes to, you know, if I have my Roth IRA, then I don't pay taxes on that in the future. And then I have my traditional 401k where I'm saving money right now. So to me, it kind of just balances that out, and it makes me feel better that I have both of them. And it's kind of similar amounts that are being contributed between what I put in and my employer. So for now, it's a pretty good balance. Now, I can't say that forever I'm gonna stay at a traditional 401k, but I am pretty sure in the near future, that's like definitely this year, that's what I'm staying at. But going forward, maybe I'll change my mind. I don't know what would cause that to change, but for me, this works. So that is why I made this decision to put my money to the pre-tax 401k. And I kind of just wanted to finish with a few important things. These may be repetitive. So these things are relevant to me, but also relevant to you if you're having a hard time deciding which one to contribute to. So the first thing is that get your match, get your match no matter what. So even if you have like a 2% match from your company, at least contribute up to that, whether it's pre-tax 401k or Roth 401k. Just go for it, because you are getting free money with that and it's being invested. If you prefer, you probably can go 50-50. So for myself, I was able to split it however I wanted to. I could have done 4% versus 2%, 3 and 3, or whatever I wanted to do, I could have done that and contributed to both. So if you're having a really hard time, just go ahead and do both. Or as I mentioned before, if you want to do your Roth 401k, your employer match is going to go to a traditional. So it's basically the same thing. Just remember that you're not going to have a reduced tax burden from your employer's match, but you're still contributing to both. Definitely do your own research and determine your own projections. So if it's easy for you to figure out how much you're going to be making in the future, for some people, maybe you can have more of an expectation, but for me, that's just difficult. But no matter what, always just think about yourself and find these articles, read these articles, do your own research and make the decision that's best for you and your future, because obviously it's going to be different than mine. I wrote down that I can always change, but you can always change as well. Like this isn't set in stone. You can change your contributions. For me, I can change it whenever. I don't know if that's for everyone, but at least once a year, you should be able to change what you contribute to in your plan. And I wrote down, I have years of investing left, so this may not be the case for everybody, but it could be. Like I'm 28 years old, so this is just the beginning, and I have years of contributions left, years of investing in my lifetime. So no matter what, I'm gonna be okay. Even if I end up doing traditional 401k for the rest of my working career, and I end up paying lots of taxes on it, like I'm gonna have enough money invested to be fine. And then my final point here, I also mentioned, but I have my Roth IRA and then also doing a traditional 401k. So it's pretty diversified. I feel comfortable with it, and you can do the same thing too. I am gonna touch on briefly what I am invested in my 401k. I'm not gonna go into detail with this because it's irrelevant and it's gonna be different per company. But I decided to go with the most aggressive option that was provided from my employer. So I could have done like a custom plan, but I just prefer not to. I like what they had laid out. So that's, for me, that's 95% stock and 5% bonds. The 95% stocks are broken down by US stock, so that's VTSAX at 54%, international developed equity with VTMGX, that's at 24%, emerging markets equity, VEMAX at 12%, and then real estate with VGSLX at 5%. And then the 5% bonds are broken down by 4% in US bonds with VBTLX, and then 1% in international bonds with VTABX. And I actually really like this balance, and the reason I'm cool with it is because I think, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I had started planning what I would invest in once I'm debt free and I'm like contributing to a brokerage account, because right now all I've ever done is VTSAX for my Roth IRA and then VTI in my brokerage account, as y'all know. But in the future, I plan on breaking it down more specifically with something similar to that. So I want to have the international stock, obviously the US stock, international stock, real estate, so REITs, which is what it's taking care of that, and then a little bit of bonds so that you can protect yourself a little bit and not be so risky. So I found it a good mix of everything. I honestly don't find it necessary to spend more time than I already did on this 401k plan, and I feel most comfortable going with the aggressive route. And it was pretty cool how my employer has it, or at least the website I am contributing through. They allow you to put in information like which age you want to retire, how risky you are, how comfortable you are with certain things, with your finances, and then they give you a suggested plan, which I thought was really great. And mine was like somewhat risky, but I decided to go one step further and do the riskiest option. So that's just personal preference, but of course, again, make that decision for you. But okay, that is it. I think I will probably have future videos about 401ks and all that stuff. I will definitely keep y'all updated on my balances and my monthly updates, and whenever it's relevant. But for now, that's what I'm sticking with. And if anything changes, y'all know you will be updated. Again, if you have any questions, please leave those down below. I will try my best to answer them. Check out the description box for any relevant links and further information. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It really supports my channel. And I'll see you in my next video.